Alright, hey, since I already have the Roy Jones drawing above the previous video, I wanted to talk about how to color using this Grisalle method. I don't call it Grisalle, I just basically color value drawings. So, like I said, I separate drawings into line, value, and color. And in this case, I have the value drawing here. Now if I turn off the color, you can see the drawing, and the drawing does the heavy lifting. Now if I turn on the color and turn off the drawing, you can see just how smudgy it is. There's not a whole lot of detail because all the detail is in the drawing. You know, I'm just kind of smudging and lightening up some areas. I did this in Rebel because I was just playing with that program. I was trying to figure it out and get comfortable with it. But it really sings because the drawing is doing most of the work. Now, one thing I realized is that my reference he has a white glove, a white boxing glove, and if the white background is there, it doesn't pop as much. So I decided to do another one with a background, a gray background. Now the advantage of this is that this gray background, I can change it to any color I want, you know, for this background. And I'm still using the same image from above. I did play with it a few times. I smudged it, so there is some variety there. But I separate everything out. So if I turn off the color, and I'm left with the drawing, but I also created some lights here. So within this drawing, if I have a gray paper and it's multiplied, so it's the white is transparent to the gray, this glove isn't white anymore. So I had to create a layer of white to make that pop. And I also just went in and added whites to his face to show where the light was hitting the planes of his face, right? And then the color, just turn the color back on. You know, that's it. And then, like, once I'm here, I can play with more variety. You know, I've got this one where I've got, here's the lights, right? Not as bright as the one above it, because I thought that was too bright, but this is closer to the photo. But that's a little darker. But right now I'm playing with the various layers that I made in Photoshop. And I probably should duck down a little bit. It's the same drawing. And it's funny because if I turn off this color and turn on the drawing again, it's not as dramatic with the lights, but you know, you can just play. All that does a whole lot for you when you're here, you know. And I cranked it up a little bit more, but there's the same color, and I can shift the hue because, again, the drawing, the values are doing the heavy lifting. You know, I can turn off the gray of the background, and you can see that the face is not as juicy in terms of saturation. The gray makes it pop more, and you know, you can just kind of dial in the way you want it, and you can keep playing with different colors. You can colorize things. So in this one, I changed the color of the drawing here, which is kind of purple in the original, right? I made it blue in this one. So I've turned off the paper, it's more purple. And I'm also playing with, you know, multiply, lighten, multipass, all the different things. You just go down the list until you're happy with how it looks. And most programs just work the same way. So if I click on the drawing, I can click on the drawing itself, and I find the transparency, and right now this one's soft light. If I go back to normal, you know, I can choose all the different possibilities and just go back up and down until I find one that I like. And that's kind of how I like to play and experiment. So that's how this one came about. But I started with the solid drawing. So if you can get your drawings to look really good, applying color is no big deal. You all know the rules of color, and you all have a sense of color taste that you like. You can also go find colors from an image or a movie frame, like a still frame from a movie that you like that has the color palette that you want, or artwork from a time period, because different time periods had different aesthetics. You can pick out a psychedelic 60s color aesthetic, compare it to an 80s color aesthetic. It's going to be very different. But you pick out the things you like and you let them influence you. And I'm not going to tell you what I think you should do or what is really working, because things change over time. Like music changes, art changes, films change, not always for the better. But you decide for yourself. Do I like this? Do I not like it? And just trust your gut and play. Make the software. Try to see what you can do until you push it to the point where, okay, this is a mess. Then you dial it back. But you keep doing things trying to make it better. And the source of doing this is just good drawing. A drawing with a believable value scheme. I hope that helps. I just want to keep this one really short.